What is going on, guys? It is Matt Metagross here, bringing you another episode of the Draft League Viabilities. This week we are doing Infernape, as you can see. So let's get right into this. So, first we have the Choice Scarf set. Now, this can be run physical or special with the same moves as this spec set, which we'll get into in a second. Now, this set is basically built around the fact that Infernape has very good speed. It can outspeed if your opponent has a fast mega, a setup sweeper, or just something outright fast that you want to be able to catch up with. Infernape is an excellent scarfer to bring week to week. U-turn makes an excellent pivot with band, scarf, any choice set. Flare Blitz and close combat, very powerful stabs, and Thunder Punch for coverage. Helps it break bulky waters, which otherwise can give us some issues. I'm running Iron Fist to boost that Thunder Punch's power. So next I'm going to move on to my second Infernape set. The ability here should be Blaze. Something with Infernape that you do want to note is always know what ability you want to be running. Because with Infernape, you will always have the issue of power early game versus power late game. So, say you're running the physical scarf set. Calc your damage. See if you need to, let's say you're facing Vaporeon. If the Thunder Punch 2-hit KOs, regardless of whether or not the Iron Fist is there, run Blaze so late game you have an easier clean with Flare Blitz. Anyways, the choice spec set, I run Blaze because I don't have any punch moves, so it's kind of useless to run the Iron Fist. Fire Blast, U-turn, HP Ice, Grass Knot. Now, U-turn's still a great pivoting option, and Grass Knot does still help break the bulky waters. Hidden Power Ice is more for the dragons that resist the other moves on this set. I don't like running Focus Blast because of the accuracy, but there are ways to get around that, but not on a choice set. So, and again, if you want the wall breaking potential, you can take the moves from the first set and give them a choice band. That's the nice thing about Infernape. You can give it a scarf or a power set and run it physical or special. So it's a very good choice mon, which a lot of teams don't have. So moving on into the Titanium Z Nasty Plot set. This set is more decided. This set is designed to either break or clean late game. If you want it to break, I suggest going with Fire Blast over the Flamethrower here. If it's a clean, I suggest going with the Flamethrower. Titanium Z is to give you some better fighting stab because Focus Blast is very inaccurate. However, you give it the Titanium Z and it just becomes a nuke button. And then Vacuum Wave is great because this thing does get priority on both sides. Another note, if you're running a choice band or choice spec set, bringing your fighting priority is always a good idea if you need it. Sometimes you don't have enough coverage to run it. Sometimes there's no need to run it. But on any set where you want Infernape to sweep, I suggest at least trying to fit in a little priority. Anyways, moving on, we see the Swords Dance set. Now here, because Infernape gets phenomenal stab and good coverage on the physical side, its physical move pool is much better than its special move pool. I went with a Sash here because it usually doesn't need it. Now, something you can do. Now, one problem with the Swords Dance set is the fact that sometimes Flare Blitz can end up killing yourself off, so I might suggest using Fire Punch if you need to. But if you don't need Fire Punch, then say you need a Flare Blitz, then the Sash is just there in case you have to set up on let's say a Vaporeon. You have to set up on that Vaporeon. Is the only thing left that you might have a chance to set up on, because say their other thing is a Chinchino, so it outspeeds and gets Rock Blast. So you can't risk that outspeeding you, so you want to set up on the Vaporeon, you set up on that, Thunder Punch it, and then Mach Punch the rest of the team. But more often than not, if you're running Sash, I'd suggest Fire Punch. If you decide to run a Z move, I'd suggest Flare Blitz. Next is the infamous Sock set, which destroys me every time I face it. Endeavor Infernape, Lead, Taunt, Stealth Rocks, Overheat, Endeavor. Basically what you do is you lead it, it takes a hit, drops down to its Sash, and either overheats or endeavors until it dies. I have so much trouble beating this set, and I don't know why. It's a phenomenal set, because more often than not, once it drops down to its Sash, you might have some trouble just like dealing with its utility, because this is Infernape's utility is very good. And finally, we have the Life Orb set. And this actually isn't even a set. This is just to show off some of its other options. So, it gets Low Kick and Gunk Shot, so it does become an excellent Fairy Killer. And if you don't want the drops from close combat, say you're running the Bulk Up set like you see down lower, Low Kick might be a better option to run with your Stab. And Slack Off does give this thing recovery. So this also became a pseudo set as I worked with it, because the idea behind it is that Life Orb takes down and then you slack off, because Infernape still does have very good speed even without the investment. So Infernape can make itself bulky, it can recover, and it gets really good coverage, especially on the physical side. So where would I take Infernape in a draft? Well, I think it's definitely a round 1 pick in any draft you go into. But the great thing about it is that sometimes you can get it to sneak down round 2. It's late 1 round if you want a round 1, then you have a late pick. It's late round 1, early round 2 pick. I think it should be tier 1 in every league. I think it's a phenomenal fighting type and a phenomenal fire type. I'd suggest picking it up in any draft, because its versatility is unmatched by anything besides maybe Mew, which doesn't get as great of a speed tier as it. So, in terms of offense, I don't think you can do much better than Infernape in league format. So, that's my opinions. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below of Infernape, and I will see you next time with a broken video.